How many people live here? How many living room windows? How many people maybe are aging or not feeling so well behind these windows? How many people have issues in their families, challenges to deal with each other, tensions, neighbors, or just simple house issues like drainage, or air conditioning in this hot weather. How many people? And this is just one little nest here. It's really like a little nest. A small little hollow. And the light is rising now. The sun is appearing. And people are beginning to wake. It's Sunday morning here in Magdala. So many people. And this is just one little spot. It's amazing. All these houses. And some public buildings and some government buildings and some churches, some mosques. In this part there probably aren't any synagogues. It's mostly Arab population, Palestinian. Some people experiencing success, other people frustrations. Last night, like every night, there are fireworks. Some people are celebrating, others are mourning. The course of life. And from these parts came, different people came through. The first biblical figure just up the road here in Bethlehem is Rachel. We have Rachel's tomb. And her story and how in giving birth to her son, Benjamin, her life was consumed and completed. And her tomb is a memorial to that and to all parents in their challenge of fertility, their challenge of pregnancies, challenge of birth. They tell me that it was a tough day for my mom when I was born. It wasn't an easy birth. And then I'm blessed with 3 sisters and a brother who came after me. And then another personality here is another family ran into horrible times, and there was famine in the land, and they migrated. That's a word we're familiar with today. They migrated, and they migrated to Moab. And their 2 sons married Moabite girls. Moab is across on the other side of the Dead Sea. And both of the sons died after their father had died. And so the poor mother was left with 2 daughters-in-law. And she suggested to them, now that the famine is over in my country, I'll go back to Bethlehem and you stay here and remarry and have your families and your own Moabite kin. And Ruth says, no, I'm coming with you. My God is your God. Your people is my people. Your God is my God. And so we have the great-grandmother of David. She marries Boaz. It's only a 3-page story in the Bible, and it's located in these hills here, just across here in Bethlehem. And then we have David. And David, we know his story pretty well. Shepherd boy here in these hills. None of these houses existed. Chosen, anointed king. And then we have a son of David, born here 2,000 years ago, Jesus. But let's go back to David for a moment. And then David had his bit of mischief, his grave injustice. Following that, one thing leads to another. What the eye craves and the heart seems to long for and the body desires. Amazing. And then we have King Solomon from that relationship, David and Bathsheba. And Solomon comes to power. And there's a beautiful prayer for which he prays. He's offered everything, and he chooses one, wisdom. That's our first reading today. Wisdom. Wisdom to see things as God sees them. And especially to see people as God sees them. The people around me. And there we have the gospel passage. A person was discovered a pearl of great price. It's interesting watching the pilgrims. They want to go to the shops to get souvenirs, collectible items. And what's the pearl of great price? For which it's worth going to sell everything. To sell everything. The man who found a treasure in a field and went off and sold everything to buy it. The craving of the heart. The kingdom we seek. Thy kingdom come. What are we seeking? What's our true happiness? And it's brought together at a point in the second reading to have a heart transformed, a heart like Jesus. The baby born here in Bethlehem, a heart like Jesus. Totally centered on his Father, what his Father wants, how his Father sees people, sees things. And that constant in his life. Give me wisdom, Lord, to develop a mind and a heart that sees things like you see them. It's not just going to church and to pray on Sunday or any other time. It's not just having times of personal prayer. Those are great moments to know the Father better. And also to give witness in community to the others of our faith. Something that's very needed because people need to be strengthened in their faith. Something we can do by going to church on Sunday. And not just choosing comfort. But the little things, drying the tear, sitting with somebody elderly, lonely, calling up a friend, even if I'm lonely or elderly. Little things. So many young people starting their lives. Here we have a lot of young population, a lot of young people. You should hear them on their motorbikes at night time, doing all kinds of theatrics, acoustic and otherwise on the streets. So much energy, so much drive, so much power. We're all along the spectrum somewhere between birth and finishing our lives. Thy kingdom come. We don't have far to go to look for an image of the Father. She and he are all around us, testing our patience, asking for things that are a bother for us. And that response of love, of kindness, of forgiveness. People, I didn't get around to doing any video yesterday. These few days out on the road, which is not my typical service to pilgrims in the Holy Land, has helped me appreciate a lot more what guides do when they're responsible for groups of people. The work of parents looking after a couple of kids, but guides looking after a busload and coordinating with other buses in the big program. A lot of dedication is needed. So I know your wish is to see more holy places, and I hope to fulfill that as Providence allows. And I wish you a very blessed Sunday as you discover your treasure, the treasure hidden in the field. It's not said when, at what point in the guy's life he found it. Obviously for Solomon when he was a young king. But we can find the treasure at any point in our lives. May you be blessed to sell everything to buy the treasure. See you later, alligators. Have a blessed Sunday, blessed week.